right. What's guys? Once you jump, what's actually being seen on your end? Once we get a few people on here, we'll get started. As always, we discuss really what you guys want to talk about. So, type out some topics, some questions, comments, statements, something you want answered, addressed. You guys kind of lead the conversation, and we turn these conversations into whatever you guys want, really. Everybody have a good weekend. Hard to believe that it's Sunday already, right? Back to work, back to the grind, right? People say that and they mean it in a negative manner. I do not mean that negatively. I always welcome that. How are we? I guess we will start from the top. Chuck, what's going on? Eagle 357. Old Heart, Zombie. Oh no, are you liberal? Come on, man. Are you fucking kidding me? How did you get here? You ever been to Sconce at Gunsight? I don't know what Sconce is. No. HK45C, what's up? You the compact guy? Why not the Mark 23? Had a great time at Wrangler Stars last week. You did, man. I'll bet you did. How could you not? You guys got charcuterie boards. Work every day in my business. Yep, that's exactly it, man. It went super fast. Yeah, ours did too. Been on paternity leave. I go back to work Friday, right on 12-hour night shifts at the hospital. Philippine Nomad, what's up? How are you? Warlike. Sutcliffe, what's going on, guys? I work every day. Okay, that's it. I guess that's all of them. Coyote stacked micros. We can ship those to you tomorrow morning. Unless you use a code. If you use a code, I'm just going to wait a day or two because it needs the free item that goes with it. Man, I'm burning up. I was out in the garage. It's hot out there. Looking for souls to steal. Toy Town, what's up, man? Getting ready to drop some cash back in the bank. Oh, that's nice. Found guns I forgot I had. Okay. Reduce the collection. Right on. You might even wait longer, man. I mean, you're a grown fucking man. You do what you want to do, right? But converting those to cash right now, I wouldn't convert anything to cash unless I was immediately going to put it into other assets. Check this out. So this is magnet. There's a magnet on this door here. And it turns on. I was not able to tune any stations, though. I don't have, we were inside a sealed building, and the antenna is not great on this. I also didn't have it up very high. So, hopeful we'll be able to tune in some stuff. It's pretty cool. Bought all of these old, rusty sewing machines today. I'm going to build a shelving unit, put some LED lighting in there to illuminate down, and build a display wall of old sewing machines. Overton, what's up, man? Gonna be short one. Me too, Warlike. Me too. Great Lakes, right on. Philly had a great day today. Had a great day yesterday. Got another piece for my gym, my Titanic gym, right? As in the gym that was on the Titanic. Actually, I don't believe that was the Titanic that we all saw. I believe that was the sister ship. Still, nonetheless. Booty shaker, that's right. Fat jiggler. Anyone using the pocket slide for Glock 19 mags? Will they fit? Question mark. When you look for antique sewing machines, do you look for a particular brand? These are the first I've bought. Like I bought a super clean, functioning Singer last week. Cabinet and everything. And we bought it because it's a treadle machine. There's no motor to it. These I bought just for display. While I think I can get most of these functioning, they're too light to do anything with. I just bought them because of, especially like This one, all the gold is in place. This one, I'm gonna clean it up, see how clean we can get it. But I just got them to build a display wall out of. And then I got this derpy Bobcat. Queen Mary, not Titanic, is the rumor, isn't it? No, both of them. Both of them. The rumor is that is not the Queen, not the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. It is the sister ship, in fact. Queen Mary still is present and floating. Did I say I'm backwards? Yes, they will carry one daily. Right on. All right. Byron, was it Overton and Asset? I agree with that. It's in the winter, but cold showers in the south. I take cold showers all the time, but it's not cold enough to get the benefits of it, right? It's a little bit of mental toughness, right? If you're taking a shower at 60 degrees instead of 96 or 100 degrees, right? It's you feel it for sure. And 60 degrees or 50 degrees is definitely on the way to 34 degrees. Britannica. Sister ship. Yep, look into that. You'll see a lot about that, actually. There's a lot. Look at like the Twin Towers. There's a bunch of stuff circulating around right now. 2 firefighters had just come out, said that a secondary and tertiary explosion had happened, right, on that other building. There's a ton of, like, none of our history is what they tell you it is. There is the less than 1% that manipulates and controls all of the rest of everybody to, your tax cattle. That's what you are. Evaporest is great for restoration. Hey, if you don't mind, would you message me that, please? I'll buy some of that. Anyone try the 12-hour walk? I just did, and it was a great feeling experience. So you walked for 12 hours? The Olympic, the Britannic, and the Titanic. Ordered Highlander tool bag for my birthday present to me. Right on. Thank you, man. Thanks for the order. And happy birthday, whenever that is. That 40-degree river at Cody's was plenty. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm absolutely sure it is. And very shocking, right? They say you need an accumulation of 19 minutes per week is what. If you're interested in this conversation, you should look up Huberman. Check him out. You can find him on Instagram. He's got very good short form content. He's been on Rogan a bunch of times. He's got good long form content on YouTube. Just check it out. A lot of his stuff, you don't have to go buy a thing or a pill or a potion. It's just immediately actionable. You just implement it into your life. I get bored after about 40 minutes. We probably walked for 12 hours today. Cumulative, I should say. Send it through text or email. Don't have social. Right on. You used to be able to actually private message on YouTube. They have really ruined that. Although in memberships you can post. I believe you can. Any idea when the other color fupas will be on the cutting table? A lot of them are on the cutting table, buddy. A lot of them are already out there. They're just in line to sew. We're attempting to keep warm and dry from 2 big wet storms that hit us. Yeah, I'm sure you're getting hit way worse than we are. We had a pretty good storm the other night, and we're supposed to have some pretty heavy weather this week. Although lately, you really can't trust it. It skates, and great, it skates around us. But for a major thunderstorm tonight, I can't not water the plants because oftentimes you wake up and it hasn't rained at all. Evan Roach, what color do you have on order, buddy? What are you waiting for? Shot Show short was awesome. Sent it to a buddy who's security down on the strip, right on. We used to go down to I guess it was the Gulch a lot, right? Fremont Street. We used to get comped. We knew somebody who was friends with a pit boss at Binion's. I think it was Lucky Horseshoe, at the Horseshoe. So we got comped like honeymoon suites there pretty frequently. So we would go down there. They had a really good seafood king crab leg buffet. A lot of times that and a paddle boat, that paddle boat hotel. And then the Glitter Gulch, like we didn't ever go to the Glitter Gulch, but I remember being there as a young man, seeing that as you'd walk through there, all the Elvis impersonators. What color, Evan? The Evaporust remover is awesome. Just got some delivered today, ordered through your Amazon link. Thank you for using my link. Guys, for people that don't know, Amazon's the devil. I believe it. I agree with it. However, we all use it, and if you don't, more power to you, man. But if you use Amazon, if you would please go to any of my videos or my website and just click anything that says Amazon. It takes you straight to Amazon. Yeah, and a lot of times in the videos, you'll see some item, and I'm like, hey, we got this off Amazon. It doesn't matter which link you click. It still takes you to Amazon. It downloads a cookie. And then once you're there, anything you buy, it doesn't go to us. And if you click somebody else's link, it goes to them. Anytime you see anybody with a social media footprint or presence, any creator, content creator, pushing or showing anything that you can get on Amazon, that's actually what's happening. I just tell you that we do it. Ordered a Coyote Fupa right on. We have, I think we have our Coyote Fupas finishing up right now. Those should be shipping again here anytime. Just up a blank. I just put up a blank video just so people could message me under the comments. I don't know why YouTube got rid of messages. Yeah. We had a thunderclap last night, and it was so loud, I thought it was something else. It was the loudest thunder I'd ever heard. Yeah, we were driving back from Jackson yesterday about 5 o'clock, and the thunder from as high up as you could see would come down on the horizon to what looked like the ground. And then once it was it was branching off and doing crazy stuff, and there'd be one here and one over here as we're driving down the interstate. And it looks like it was like coming down and shooting the interstate. And then it would pause, and you could literally count 1,000, 2 1,000. And that whole beam, from as high as you could see to the ground, would just pause there like it freeze framed for about 2 seconds. Amazon now has a YouTube-like video setup. I've heard that. There are people actually posting videos. I believe Wrangler Star put a video up on Amazon. If I take a week adding to my cart on Amazon, then use your link for checkout, do you get the credit? I do not believe so, man. I don't think we do. I think it goes away. Encouraging community, how are you? Marpat or Tiger Stripe would be epic. There is no, I don't have either of those available for these fanny packs, buddy. For these, it's not even an option right now. That would be a later thing. It would be custom. I have very little of the Tiger. I have none of the Marpat. But those aren't an option at all right now in this run. If that's what's in your heart, man, don't order right now. Iridium, what's up, buddy? Wrangler Star has done 2 lives on Amazon that I know of. Do they stay there? I've not looked at them. Johnny Urban, what's up, man? Sacred 7 mushroom extract and first form OptiGreens have been added to my daily health. I do it every day, man. I use it every single day. I also use 2 drops. I'm not telling you to. I'm telling you I use 2 drops of iodine also. Andrew Huberman, yes, Andrew Huberman. Very active, posts every day on Instagram, short form content. I believe those are clips of his longer form content, which is up on YouTube very frequently. He's been on Rogan a bunch of times. You should check him out. Howdy, y'all, Nuke Gina. I don't know what that means. They do stay there. Right on, Overton. Good info. Bobby Hill. Bobby! Propane and propane accessories. I don't sound anything like Hank Joe. Use either iodine or dried kelp blend daily for the whole family. Right on. Do you have any black fupa danglers in the works? I'm sure we do, man. I'm positive we do. Any of the common colors that were open and able to order, they've been batched. We've got 2 dudes cutting literally like 10 hours a day. We were not able to keep up with the sewers. The sewers were sewing faster than my guy cutting. We've got another dude in, which is really assisting the main guy. And now I've had 3 previous employees come back to work, and they're doing great. And then we had my problem child, who sews everything fucking perfect for an hour and then sews it all backwards. She wasn't here Friday. I'm thinking that problem has weeded itself out. She has to leave on her terms, or she has to leave on my terms, really. We got to sit down and have a talk, and because she really holds my other people back. They are constantly like, my lady that runs the floor out here is constantly having to overwatch her, and the truth is we get way more done without her. So things really rolled through on Friday, Thursday and Friday. Most of this stuff here is fupas and danglers and such. There's a ton of that out here. All of these right here are fupas that are already cut. We've got all of the accoutrement for fupas out here, Velcro adjustable holsters. There's a ton of pistol cards. Here's more fupas right here. These are Star Wars bags. So these here are Coyote, probably. I guess they're Coyote. Here's a bunch of straps. Yep, there's the hoops for them. We've got those crimper pouches all finishing up. We do 60 of these, probably 4 times a year. Dual pistol cards, shotgun cards, shoulder straps. These most likely go to fupas. 5-round pistol cards. Velcro. These are spent mags. You want to see some crazy shit? Go look at the spent mag short on YouTube and Instagram. Everybody's a fucking expert. One thing you will notice when you see people complain or speak illy on a company's page, when you see somebody talking negative, those were never a customer. I'm not buying them. Yeah, motherfucker, we know. It's been 35 years. I'm pretty sure you're not buying it. We get it. Yeah, every night Amanda cuts. Yep, we literally just got back in town less than an hour ago. Amanda cuts every night. We got 3 people. I cut. A lot of nights I cut. Going back to work here in Cali, people can't pass drug tests. Yeah, that's everywhere, buddy. We don't drug test. I don't even care that you take drugs. Just use the ones that don't slow you down at work, I guess. Brain cloud overtime. What is the root of her issue? The root of her issue? Doesn't give a shit. Because definitely demonstrates capability. That's what we spent mags. Yeah, these ones will carry 2 frags, or a smoke grenade, or a larger, like a Nico. If you know what the sting ball grenades look like, they're about this. They're actually larger than a softball. They'll hold all kinds of pyro in demo. Everywhere except the White House. Cutting gear, is that what the kids are calling it nowadays? Can you recommend wireless outdoor security camera, or there's someone on YouTube who gives great? I'm sure there is. I don't know the answer to that. I have a couple systems. I have 3 camera systems, actually. I do not use wireless, though. I use hardline, so that they're not through. Now, some of them actually do upload to a cloud, but they are not dependent on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, right? I have 350-foot runs on some of them, so I have power boosters. I'm actually going to break those up, my long runs, and set those up as a secondary, or actually a 4th system. Now, I do have game cameras, which I've been very happy with, and they have game cameras right now that you basically buy a cellular service, and it's not expensive anymore. Moultrie, I mean, pick your flavors, just like hunting gear, right? But I happen to have Moultrie cameras, And a lot of places I have game cameras, I have another game camera facing the game camera because you will have thefts. And you can cable them and people will come up, crackheads and tweakers will, mess with them. They have basically like a wire bike cable that locks your game camera in place. But I do have, where I have game cameras on main runs where they're really, it's really evident you have them. I have them there for animals. But I do have others facing those so that we can capture if somebody, tampers with them. And they do have uploads now, and you can get a group of them that will text your phone. And what will happen is you'll be like, holy shit, this motherfucker's blowing my phone up so much that you'll actually mute those incoming. And you can set them up for video or pictures. They have color, they've got infrared. I mean, they're really good. Like game cameras we were using 10 years ago, 8 years ago when we bought the property were incredibly good. They are amazing now. I use wireless cameras by Wyze. Yep, you could totally do those. You see a lot of YouTube guys promoting those. Tell him to pull ring in case of emergency. I don't know what conversations are going on there. Now with the Moultries, you can buy a set. You can buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack, or you used to be able to off Amazon or off eBay of the older Moultries, and we have those all over the place. I do have some newer ones, and then there's some like knockoffs, right? China knockoffs. They're all Chinese, anyways. But the knockoffs I've got are every bit as good too. I've got a pack of 6 knockoffs. They're not as big. They don't seem as robust, but I mean, we've been operating, we've been using them for over 6 years. Use lithium batteries, get lithium batteries in those things. Got the wrong game camera. You have to pay every month, not sure for what. Yeah, you got a game camera that you have to, it texts your phone or whatever, so it's a cellular service. What's this shirt? This shirt is "We the People of the United States." You'll hear people say it, "We the People of these United States." It does not actually say "these United States." It says "We the People of the United States." And then it has the First Amendment and the preamble to the First Amendment on the back. And these are actually, they are the actual words. We actually saw another company do a shirt similar to this, and I said, I really like that. Sent it to my guy, and I'm like, hey, make it ours, change it around, right? Make it different. And he came back and he's like, these motherfuckers didn't use words. And he sent me a screenshot blown up, and they were squiggles. There was no fucking words on that other shirt. I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. Get the actual preamble in the First Amendment, read it, put it in play. Okay, he had to actually do it by hand. I'm like, you better spell check this motherfucker, and then send it to me, and I sent it to a couple other people before we went to print. We're doing a similar one, which will be here tomorrow, and it is the Second Amendment. We're doing the Second Amendment shirt. Will come out for release tomorrow evening. Constitution shirt. Been real happy with mini Tacticams I have around my property. Crazy good. Yeah, aren't they? They're amazing. And you will find the damnedest stuff. You will think, oh, those animals aren't here. You will be amazed at the nightlife that you see. And you'll be amazed at the nightlife you see all together that should not be hanging out together. Like they eat each other in the wild, but they'll all be there. Especially if you have a pond or a water hole or someplace animals can come to get water, you will be amazed. You got a cat food dish outside or a dog food bowl, put a camera face in there. You're gonna be amazed at what you see at night. Have you introduced yourself to another man of Rolex caliber and say, I have 3 giraffes, immediately get the African Diamond Lord contract? John immediately gets the African Diamond Lord's contract. That's funny. Don't sell me short though, bro. I have 7 giraffes. Always been disappointed in the legal wording of the Second Amendment. I don't think we should have to have any of those, right? Those are God-given rights. Inalienable rights, correct? For somebody to give you the right, that means that the possibility of taking it away exists. Are those headphones for your cell phone or iPad? My iPhone doesn't have headphone jacks. Pisses me off. Okay, I'm not sure what headphones we're talking about. Where's the damn, here we go. These are Dre Beats. and they do not have. I think my phone has. I use Samsung. I'm still using S21 Ultra, which was amazing for about 6 months, and now it's not. I always have to. The batteries die, right? So I've got these giant Zero Lemon battery packs, and this does have. It does have a port on it for a 1/8" jack, but it won't plug in with this case on. It doesn't work. I would have to. I could shave it out, some of the rubber. But these are Dre Beats wireless, and I've tried a lot, man. I've tried Skull Candy, Bose. I've tried all kinds of them. Couple hundred, $50, $100, $200. The Dre Beats have the best sound that I found until you go with a tour ear, and you're gonna pay starting at $600 to $1,200 up to $7,000 for tour ears. That should be a bullet point on your cards. Owner 7 giraffes. Exactly. The right is a reference to rights under British common law. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. I like my S20. Currently been using the 23 Ultra. Takes awesome pics. You know what the problem with it is? You know what the problem with both of them are? You don't have a removable SD card any longer. They are forcing you to use the cloud. The whole Constitution isn't for us. It limits the government. Yep. Yep. The Declaration of Independence, a beacon to friends of liberty and terror to monarchs. God, a set of those earbuds sound excellent. Yeah, they'll last a couple years, and then things start happening. I at all times have 2 sets. I have another. Now they're stopping making them, guys. Like, if you like these things, I shouldn't even be telling you this. If you like these things, go buy a couple pairs of them, because they're getting harder and harder to find, right? So here's my other pair. But stuff starts happening to them, right? The rubber starts cracking right there. This piece always comes off. The volume up, volume down always falls off. I've got another pair. Are we back live? Okay, so as I was saying, I have another brand new pair sitting there, and as you see, it is not in the colors I would have chosen. They're getting harder and harder to get. Hiram, what's up, buddy? Haven't had a Note for a long, long time. Note 20 Ultra better than the 20. Is it? I had a Note 20, and I had a 20, and then I went to the 21 Ultra. John Witherspoon, what's up, man? Have we ever done a Claymore shirt? I mean, who doesn't love Claymore? We have not, man. Front towards enemy. We haven't, because for a while there, like, there were so many of them out there, and we didn't do them. Got your FUPA yesterday. Right on, Rob. Thank you for your order, man. Snagged a FUPA dangler tonight. Right on, Mike. Thank you for your order. What color did you order, Mike? Don't know much about sewing, but some of the stuff you are sewing looks tough as hell. Do you use one particular brand of needle? Do they break often? They have got to take a beating. Yeah, I use you'll see all kinds of bullshit. Everything's coming out of China now. I use mostly real parts, right? Most of my parts are Consew parts, and I use German needles. I saw somebody the other day, I don't remember who it was, talking about a company that only uses U.S. manufactured needles. I am not aware of a U.S. manufacturer of needles. However, I use Grossbrecher, which is, we buy them in, these come 10 in a container, and a box is 5 containers. So I get 500 needles, and this is what they look like. That's typically what I use. Now these machines, when we got the machines, oh no, this is a rotating hook. Now the hooks we typically use are Japanese hooks. Most of the sewing machine parts are Japanese, or at least most of the stuff. Sometimes you just can't get them. Now, if you're starting out and you're not like running the dog shit out of these machines, you could totally use Chinese parts and save a lot of money. Bart Anderson. I think my trouser belt is sewn wrong. Yeah, I thought I replied to you. You had the buckles backwards. I thought I carbon copied you, as a matter of fact, with Amanda and said, hey, issue a shipping tag. Check your email. How many hours does it take to be proficient at a machine? I've been doing it 35 years. I'm still learning stuff, man. We have women that come in here who have never sewn. And we have a new lady started a couple weeks ago. She had never sewn. Within 2 days, we had her sewing on real stuff. I have women coming in here who said they have sewn, and they'll go weeks, and we still can't put them on real stuff. I've got a teenage girl. She's about to turn 18 in a few months. She had never sewn, and when it was very rough. At first, she was really improving, and then just seemed like she had this attitude where she just didn't give a shit. We were going to fire her. And there were many weeks where I just got sidetracked on time, and on Friday didn't tell her she didn't work here anymore. So she showed up, and the last couple months, something has happened. A light switch has changed, and she's better than some of the ladies who have worked here much longer than her. Most of it, it's not that you can't sew, it's that you don't want to sew. It's just like riding a bicycle. It's just like swimming. It's like a manual transmission, right? There's plenty of people out there that can't drive a manual transmission. If you took away automatic transmissions, I promise you, they would figure out how to work a manual gearbox. It's just, and the people who come in and do a shoddy job or not, nobody here does a shoddy job. The people who don't do as well as the people who put out more quality work, they're also the people who don't clip and clean their threads. They're the people who, like, I'll get product up here. We didn't clean this. The girl that made it clipped all her threads off of it. But then you'll get other people who have, rat nests all over their shit. Now, this is still pretty good. It's all in the same direction. So we typically only have to clean one side. And you'll get other people that'll sew them despite telling them, and you'll have threads on both sides. It creates 3 times as much work up here on the table for my guys. Now, those people who typically do lesser quality work, they're also the people who are the last ones here every morning. They're the first ones to leave. They don't know when, they can't get here on time, but they definitely know when fucking break is. They're the first one, they're out a minute or 2 ahead of break. They're the first ones off of the fucking property. The people who do the better work are always the people who also have more hours. It simply comes down to, I don't give a shit. And now with that said, my lesser quality people, bottom of the totem pole, they're better than what people are putting out production from other shops. Just grab a Foop XL in Woodland. You're going to love it. Chase, you're going to love it, man. My birthday to myself. When's your birthday, buddy? How you do anything is how you do it. Yeah, how you do one thing is how you do all things. That's what I say. Absolutely. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Where in the website can I locate the inserts for the FUPA cards? Just search cards. There's a search bar on every single page. If you don't see it because you're on your phone, if you just scroll over all the way to the right, top right, every page is a search bar. Put in card. You're going to find pistol cards. You're going to find rifle cards. You're going to find shotgun cards. And then you can put in a holster or Velcro adjustable holster, and the holsters will come up. I am going to soon do some sort of admin insert to hold pens, pencils, other stuff. How many pieces did you get from, a lot, John. You want to see anybody? Anybody interested in seeing what we did today? There's a whole video of it. I started off with fed the ant. You want to see our day? You want to see what Amanda and I do on a typical Saturday, Sunday? We got a ton of shit. We did a ton of shit. We left the property here at 9:30. We got back here about an hour ago. We did not stop 1 minute. If we weren't doing something, my back on, and I'll order breakfast tacos and a burrito and French toast. They'll sit at a table and I'm like, hey, You got to put us at a bigger table. I'm going to order more food than this table can fit. But we didn't go to First Watch today. We went to Uncle Julio's. We went straight there, had tacos and a margarita, and then hit the road and started running around. I picked up this Zenith radio. I do not know if it is a tube or transistor radio. I don't know the difference. I have not opened it. It's pretty cool though. It does turn on. I saw a tube tester today. I don't know how to tell if a tube tester is good, though I assume tube testers are probably pretty solid. I bought all these old ass sewing machines. I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna clean them up. It's marvelous, believe it. I'm gonna build a wall out of them and just illuminate them. Tube tester was I thought it was cocaine alligator. Come on, man. Amanda, I was amazed that we got this sailfish home without any breaks, and then I found that the tip broke, just the tip, but that's okay. Like when my tip broke, and you're like, it's all right, hun. There's 12 inches, I'm fine. I got this fat jiggler right here. It does work. I got this super derpy bobcat, although a house cat would have been better. That globe is a lit globe. Got a couple more globes. Working on a deal with Padrino. If you like tequila and you have not tried Clementine, they did a limited edition blood orange, which I enjoy immensely, and I've not been able to find it since. Tube testers usually have a pre-test setting. Oh, good to know. How does the Mexican food in Tennessee compare to Mexican food? It's not the same, man. It is not the same. Not at all. That's the only thing. I don't want to go back to California. I would rather bring something here from California, and it would be like Roberto's, just cheap box Mexican food. But there are some okay Mexican places. Do you have any desert marpat? I have a little desert marpat. Like doing a custom anything right now is off the table. It can't happen right now. Until we get all these other mass orders out, then we can discuss it. $1 million, and I do have a little bit of desert marpat. That's going to be a custom thing. It's not going to be something you're going to be able to order off the website. I have very little of that material. I cannot get any more of it. Instead of Juan's tacos, it's John's tacos. Yeah, exactly. It's Billy's talk. It's Billy's Mexican. We have some good Mexican food. We have a good Mexican place here in Camden, but it is not the same, guys. It is not the carne asada. When you went and ordered a carne asada burrito, sour cream, guacamole, and cheese, they put them on these big tortillas and they toast them right. Or you got a quesadilla, and when you pull the quesadilla, the string the cheese strings out. They use like goat cheese or something here. And they're like, do you want cheese dip? What they mean is, do you want me to slather fucking Vaseline all over all your shit? I've never seen Mexican people make Mexican food, but these are like legit Mexican dudes. And there are a few like good places. Need to call Texas for a bus lap. I need the sewers too. $1 million idea, you got it. I'm only 4 foot tall, 12 inches. Would kill me. Tell the carne asada story. So when you get carne asada, I was stoked, right? I'm like, oh, carne asada burrito. Okay, I'll take a carne asada burrito, guacamole, sour cream, and cheese. It's hamburger. Like, no shit. No fucking bullshit. You order a carne asada burrito or taco here, it is almost always hamburger. And if it's not hamburger, it's the most like dry, almost burnt carne asada, and it's not like it was in California. It's these like little strips of carne asada. We have a buddy speaks Spanish. We went to a Mexican place over in Waverly where Scully lives, where our buddy also now lives. Spoke to him in Spanish for about 5 minutes, and he's like, okay, we got it. And they brought us all food, and it was just like Roberto's. We went back in there the next time, and I'm like, okay, I'll come here several times a week. This will be the place we come. I go back the next time, and we got fucking hamburger. Like you gotta have the dude with you, I guess. Steakums talking, yeah, maybe. Ever since leaving California, I've been missing good Mexican food. Occasionally, Missouri surprises me. And do we miss it, right? If we went back to San Diego, right, and ordered it, it'd be okay. Like I talk about missing In-N-Out hamburgers, and when I go to Vegas, coming to, they're putting an In-N-Out in Franklin. I think there's another one coming into Tennessee also. Will I go there? Probably not. Alberto's, yeah. Alberto's, Royberto's, Hoyberto's, Jimberto's, I mean, all of them. A lot of Mexican cheese comes from goat milk. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to go. We're not going back. You can get In-N-Out in Dallas. Do you think it's a supply issue? U.S. Foods bullshit. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I mean, we have some good sushi restaurants. They're able to get fucking fresh fish that was killed yesterday. They bring it in FedEx. No, I don't think it's a supply issue. I think it's Mexican people not from Tijuana. When they introduced In-N-Out into Salem, Oregon, wait was 3 hours. Yeah, it's like people. It's like when a town gets a new Chick-fil-A. You can't get in and out of that motherfucker. Man, you want to poach employees? Poach them from Chick-fil-A. We'll go to the only time I ever want to go to Chick-fil-A is the same day I want to go to Hobby Lobby, and that's on Sunday when they're not open. Like no bullshit. Like that's for some reason if I'm like, okay, let's go get Chick-fil-A, man, it's like it's Sunday. And I've said that only once ever in my life, right? There's much better food. As a former Californian, John, how did you and Amanda make a decision for the life you have now? I was standing in the garden center at Walmart in Kearney Mesa, and I was talking to Jaeger, and I go, man, I need to get out of California. He's like, come to Tennessee, move to Camden. I'm like, okay. And he says, you won't do that. I go, yes, I will. He goes, you won't fucking do it. And that was a Wednesday, and I was off probation the next day. I'd been home from federal prison for 3 years, and my probation was up. We flew out here on Thursday, drove around for a week, rented a house, went back to California, and 30 days later moved here, and we have been here for over almost 18 years now. Best thing we did. Surf trestles and smash a forearm side. Yeah, there was a really good, very famous little taco shop. You can't even eat inside. You get your food and you eat outside on concrete tables in Del Mar. I think it was Del Mar. It might have been Acadia, Encinitas, somewhere around there. Lancaster. Just shipped 4 craft ice machines to Blue Tick Tavern there. Must be pretty nice estate. Yeah, I know that name for some reason. Spend $50,000 on machines just for cocktail ice. That's awesome, man. In Cali or Tennessee? The majority of people have never had quality Mexican. Nope. John, they put a Dutch Brothers in Ocean. I don't know what Dutch Brothers is. I'm reading back to these comments, guys. If there's a comment you want that I missed, just retype it out. Maryville, huh? Blue Tavern. Majority of people have never had outfit. I think we've read these guys. Don't often. Have you ever made a Alice pack? Yeah, man. We made tons of Alice packs, like literally hundreds of Alice pack mods. We also made Alice packs. But you would bring us a new large mountain ruck. We would add a combination of 9 to 11 pockets that would add 2,600 inches onto your bag. We would take the 3 small pockets and put a pocket over those. We would sew 2 quart pockets to the side of those and another to the side of those. So those were 8 by 8. So you had like a 6 by 9 in the front. You had 8 by 8 to the side and an 8 by 8 to the other side. On the extreme sides, We would put two 8x8s on a panel and an 8x16 on another panel. Those panels would allow you to put M16A2s through there, skis, large tent poles, stretcher poles, antennas. On the bottom, we sewed a big compartment that held two parts of the 3-component sleep system. And then on the face of that was another pocket that would hold a shrink-wrapped, a vacuum-sealed Kim suit. Or we could do that bottom pocket with mesh so you could put, wet gear, dry gear, wet stuff in there. And then we'd split the lid, put a zipper in there, and then put pockets on the top. Sometimes we'd build a day pack for them. Even back then, guys, that mod, that was a $500 modification back then. Nowadays, we'd be $1,000 to even discuss that. We only offer you mild and medium green chili because you're white. Yeah. Had a question about an order, so reply to confirmation email. Was that the right? Yes, that's the right way. Yeah. But you knew that. You knew that. You're not asking that question here because you weren't sure. That's not what you're doing right now. Let's be real. You guys hand sew your gear in the house? Not with these hands, but with all these sewing machines we do, yeah. We build everything in this building that comes out of this shop. This is the only shop. All of the raw goods, the rolls, the thread, everything comes in that front door over there. Right? Everything comes in here. Those are all rows of raw goods. They get cut on these two tables for the most part. Then they get put in bins, like these bins you see laying all around here. And they get sewn together by ladies that sit out here on these sewing machines. And then the work goes over here. It usually runs back and forth 5, 6, a dozen times, some stuff. Comes up here to get threads cut from the inside before they final sew. Comes over here to get grommets or snaps put in, right? Like these grommets right here. The kick presses are back over there. And then it comes up here and like these are done. So these will get all the threads cut off of them. And then we'll pull the order. They'll go into the order. And then the excess will go up front here where all the finished gear sits. Video on how to make those tables would probably be big. Probably. Jaeger actually came over with a skill saw and a DeWalt screw gun and built the first ones that were in the old building, and they didn't have these braces. And then another man came in and put the braces. These ones were built by a man who was about 75 years old. His name was Mac. And he built me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I should have had him build more of them. There's really nothing to these. What you need to know, we use this higher end, it's birch plywood. You can get it at Lowe's, but it's not a true 4x8. If you build your tables to 4x8, you end up with this piece over here, frame, which isn't a problem because you can put these bins fit perfectly in there, and then you can store a bunch of your stuff to clean the table off and put them in those bins. But all these are all made of 2x4s, right? Like these verticals, they're 2x4s. What mag pouches do you recommend to add to an AK M4 Micro? You can't really add any mag pouches to it. You can add a dangler, and you can add pistol mags to the sides on the AKs. These are stacks right here. Let's go look at an AK-4. You can't. That's why, come on, that's why you bought a $165 rig. That's why it costs $165. There's not a lot of extras on it. Dano, have a great night, man. I don't even, okay, here's a micro. This is an AK M4 micro. 2 mags, 4 mags. This is a whole 4 M4 mags. The only place you have modular is right here. Pistol mag, right here. Pistol mag, you know, you can put a multi-tool, Surefire light, whatever. We do see guys put dual pistols here. They attach them here and then run that other set here, and it kind of flops. But on the newer rigs, we've been putting this extra piece here, so you could run it through the pals with a zip tie, and it would be very stable. We see a lot of guys do that. As far as more rifle mags, you're going to the belt, buddy. Is this a zombie survival shelter? No, this is a manufacturing shop. It could be a zombie survival shelter in the manner that I am on 10 acres of property after working my ass off for 35 years, leaving California and doing a bunch of dumb shit with my money. About 7 years ago, I bought this building sight unseen. Well, we saw it. The doors were welded shut. We bought a gutted out 10,000 square foot building on 10 acres of property. And then we put a 1,000-foot loft upstairs. And there's an apartment upstairs, which is about that whole entire part of the building over. My apartment upstairs here is bigger than the luxury apartments that I rented in San Diego. We put in 2 ponds, and we grow a lot of food. I have sheep, I have rabbits, I have chickens, I have ducks. Now, when I say I have chickens, I have like hundreds of chickens. I have 100 rabbits, and we have quite a garden. We do Self-Reliance Festival. We're going to have our 6th one here in October. There will be 1,000 people attending. People fly from all over the world to come to this event. We have very big names presenting. Joel Salatin, for instance, will be here speaking, giving a lecture. We're doing a poultry processing class. We're doing a butcher off, head-to-head butchering. I think they're doing cow and hog. So, yeah, I mean, we have a fenced property. We live in the middle of nowhere. Pretty good place to live. So, yeah, I guess it could be zombie. I know you're being a smartass when you ask that. But no, what you're looking at here is this is a manufacturing shop. I have, I think I got 14 employees right now. And we build. I started 35 years ago. We built gear for SEAL teams, special forces units. We still do a little bit. But mostly we sell direct to consumer. I ship 200 to 400 boxes. We ship out of here every day. We were in the top 3 on the list for closure of our post office. And when we implemented our new website some years ago, it made it easier for customers to do business, and sales went up and shipping went up. We turned off all our dealers is what we did. Instead of sending big boxes to dealers, we shut off 63 US dealers and 52 dealers overseas. So over 100 dealers. We turned that off and started shipping direct to consumer, and the elevated shipping removed our post office from being on the closure list. So that's what we do. I'll check out that Ingelhofer. I don't know what that means. Is there a good way to clip the micro rig into an Eagle K5H harness? Buddy, I have no idea, man. I don't know what that is. I've not looked at a single thing Eagle has made since ATK bought them. I know a man named John Carver that started the company Eagle, sold it years and years ago to ATK. They bought Blackhawk. They bought a bunch of companies. I don't know anything about Eagle's product line. I don't know anybody at Eagle any longer. Battle Chemist, my evening is great. I'm about to put an end here to it. What is this lecture about? It's not a lecture. We meet here. What you should ask yourself is why there are, in the middle of the night on Sunday, 65 people here watching me ramble. We just get on here and talk about whatever we want to talk about. I've run this company for 35 years. I do a couple of different podcasts. I do a members meeting, which is a paid membership where we discuss business and lifestyle design. And I have a podcast. We do a live video every Tuesday where we have guests on from industry and homestead type stuff. We have an event here where there'll be 1,000 people here in October. This is our 6th one that we've done. I started this company 35 years ago, and I'm still in business, so I guess I know a little bit about business. Pretty good with social media. That's how you got here. The question is, why are you seeing this is really the question. And the reason is, you interact with somebody on social media who interacts with me. That's how you saw us. We have a lot of viral videos on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And your phones are very insidious, and they data mine all your stuff. So even if you had never, if this is your first time on YouTube, your phone knows who you interact with that interacts with us on TikTok and Instagram also. And everything is commingled and merged. And you're probably somewhat freedom loving, and you wish you had more freedom, and you probably wish you paid less taxes, and you probably wish that your government left you alone, and you're probably of the belief that your government doesn't do anything for you other than take from you. And that's probably you're going to spend your time when we get off of here. Does it in any way motivate you, inspire you, or assist you in being a better human being tomorrow? Will it make you a better man? Will it make you a better husband? Will it make you a better father? Or does it take from you? Because if it doesn't add to you, it is definitely taking from you. Everything that you interact with is contagious. So you need to decide what you're going to catch. Not rambling. Thanks for sharing knowledge. Right on, man. Too many unauthorized words. Where's that? Let's get on those thumbs. Not only do you make great gear, you also provide great life advice and knowledge in the live streams. I think we do, man. I think there's something, well, I know we do. Because every week, somebody's on the membership talking about how their life has completely changed. They've made twice as much money this month as they ever have in their life, or twice as much money this year as they ever have in their life, right? Or they were able to stop doing something they hate doing, and now they only do things they love doing. So it's real. John's words yesterday hit hard about dying. Well, if we look at everything that way, right? Because what did I do today? Amanda and I woke up at 4 a.m. and we came down here and started fucking around really at 9 o'clock. I had a friend here with his family. They have a travel trailer they were in, and I saw them, and they were leaving to head to Oklahoma. I think they're going to Oklahoma. They're on their way to Idaho, Evan. So we shot out, we were in Jackson yesterday, ran all around, had fun, Amanda and I, ate dinner, came back here, and he was going to go eat, so we went and sat down and ate with Evan, got to talk to him and hang out with his daughter, and then they came back. But then Amanda and I left here by 9:30 this morning. And at 9:30 this morning, we flew into Nashville and ran all around Nashville. A bunch of antique stores, had some really good food, got back here about an hour before I started this video. And we died, right? All those time we spent today and yesterday, you died those minutes. You can't ever get them back, right? So did it add to you, or did it take away? If you could go back to the beginning, to Friday night, if I could go back to Friday night, would I do any of my weekend different? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. I enjoyed every piece of what we did this weekend. And in the morning, I don't even know what time it is right now. I see I've been going for 60 minutes. In the morning, I'm going to get out of bed at 4:30, and I'm going to do a bunch of shit here. And then at 7:30, 7 o'clock, I'm going to open those gates, and it's going to be full speed, business as usual. When I get off of this video, I'm going to do probably another hour's worth of stuff before I get in bed. So any time you use, those are minutes that you can't get back. That is time that you died, right? So if you were sitting on your couch, or you slept in half the day, or you went and ate donuts and cookies all day, whatever, right? Those are your hours. You get to do what you want with your time, but your time can never go back, right? You might be able to remove time on the back end in some manners, physical activity, getting in better shape, and if you can't add time you can definitely add quality of remaining time on the back end and from here to there, right? I'm 52. By working out, I believe that it adds time on the back end. And if it doesn't add time, I'm definitely going to be more mobile. I'm going to be able to get around better, right? I'm not going to have to worry about having stairs in my house until maybe I'm 80, 85, right? I know a guy that likes donuts. I haven't had donuts in a while. I had donuts, well, I guess I have. A couple weeks ago, I went and bought donuts, and I ate a couple of them, and then I walked out and threw them all in a dumpster. All social media is connected. Yep. Hilarious. 2 seconds after you start your anti-government rant, we get a buffer. Man, I just want to believe that it's coincidence because we get those buffering circles sometimes when I'm not saying that, but it certainly does seem that way, doesn't it? Showing 84 thumbs up. Wire 62 watching and 26 thumbs up. You know what never happens? And maybe it did and I missed it, but those guys that ask that, like, what is this? They never when you give them a real fucking answer, I don't ever see them reply back like, oh, that's cool, I'll check it out. You never, it's just bizarre. It's bizarre. You'll never see anybody on social media talking shit who's doing anything worth doing. People who are doing shit worth doing, they don't have time to have the negativity. And you need to look at that too, right? When you bring some negativity somewhere, you got more negativity coming back to you. Devil pastor, C equals 8. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Time is one of the most valuable. Yeah, you trade your time for money. You trade your time for money. And the common thing here, right? No matter what body shape you have, no matter how old you are, right? The one thing everybody that hears my voice right now has is 24 hours in the day. And the difference is just how you choose to spend it. And most people go someplace for 8 hours. They're there for 8 hours, right? So you can figure an hour before and after. So they spend 10 hours to go to a place that they don't care to be for a very little bit of money for being there. Chickens like donuts, yeah. But I can't. I gotta put the donuts in the dumpster. If I'm going to do the chickens right away, I'll dump the donuts in the feed bin. But if I'm going to have them around, they have to go away. I don't even put a box of donuts in the dumpster because I might go get them. I dump the donuts in the dumpster. Not really. It's not that bad. Bare Arms had to look it up, but your harness isn't going to work. The micro sits as a chest area, where the Eagle harness Molly sits at belt height. Got it. I built my house that was 70 by 50, half shop, half calving barn, close to people for nighttime monitoring, with 1,000 square foot house shed above it. Love it. That's what we've got. We've got 10,000 on the base, 6,000 upstairs. Really, it's my living room / museum. Just curious, why did you stop selling third-party items like Surefire? I know you were a big dealer at one point. Surefire changed all their dealer structure over and over and over. And everybody we knew at Surefire was pushed out of Surefire back then. Aries, it's about him being a multimillionaire and you probably typing from your mom's. I don't know who we're addressing there. He was talking about someone coming over for an event and delivering a lecture. What's this? Oh, what's the lecture about? It's basically like lifestyle design, homesteading, how to grow food, how to start a business, how to enable and empower people. But it's based around homesteading, prepper, survival kind of stuff, right? Check out Joel Salatin, Polyface Farms. It's food design, permaculture, not so intensive farming, right? How do we set our properties up to produce food for us? What trees do we plant that will always give us a return? swales, for instance. We have 3 swales on the property that are over 100 feet each. And what that is you want them downhill, even 1 degree downhill, right? So if uphill is here and downhill is here, we dig a berm, and my swales are 3 feet deep and 6 feet across. And then we pile that dirt on the downhill side. And you don't want it real downhill, right? 1 degree is perfect. And what that does is the water comes downhill, fills the trench, right? Now picture it's 100 feet long, 6 feet wide, 3 feet deep. And then that water sits in that trench, and because it's 1 degree downhill, it rests against this ground and this big mound of dirt. That mound of dirt wicks that water up, and we plant that mound of dirt. And now we use canopy by the means of trees, right? We're going to put trees in there, and our trees, we're going to put a fruit tree and a nitrogen fixer, and then a fruit tree, and then another fruit tree and a nitrogen fixer. So the nitrogen fixer or nitrogen adder feeds both those trees on each side. Now underneath that, because the tree is going to provide some shade, we're going to plant other things called a guild. You're going to put blueberries, for instance, diagonally, and then you're going to put rosemary diagonally. But everything that's planted in here, like we put 600 strawberries in when we put these in last year. There's strawberries, there's carrots, there's all kinds of stuff. It just looks like it's a food forest, basically. And we don't maintain it, or very little maintenance of it. So it's stuff like that, right? You want to learn how to cut wood. We've got, chainsaw demonstrations. There'll be a wood processor turning that wood into dimensional lumber. Once you have dimensional lumber, what do you do with it, right? What's the cost basis on that? Is it cheaper to do it? What's the long-term payoff on that timber mill? What is a wood splitter versus a wood processor look like? How do you take milk and turn that into cheese or butter, right? It's just everything you need to know to provide for yourself. And how much do you want to do, right? There's 2 kinds of homesteaders. There's the both ends of the extreme. One homesteader is so busy not going out in public, doesn't want to leave the property, only wants to live, so they a lot of times live in poverty because they don't actually work, right? They have just enough to own the property, and then they figure out how to do all their own stuff, but they don't actually have much income. And then the polar opposite of that are very highly successful businessmen who are able to buy massive properties and set all of that up and live in luxury, and if something happens, can come inside their compound or whatever. And meanwhile, they produce enough money that they can hire farm hands and people to put those structures in place. And they're not typically, while they will cut wood off the property and use that wood, they are not dependent on that. Does that kind of answer the idea? I like the swale idea. Yeah, just look up swales. You can come here and see them. We have them. Does anybody remember laughter? So, Tom, the deal is there's no inflection here. I've been doing this since the very beginning of the internet. And we have people competitors and other people that will spend a lot of time coming in to try to cause trouble or report things or whatever. So when somebody comes in and there's no inflection in text, right? All we see is some words. So generally there's people, we'll have groups that when we do a live feed, there'll be a group and another group driving people here just to talk shit, right? It used to be, how much for the couch? Do you have a couch for sale? And it was just a group of people that would go around the internet trying to disrupt live feeds. So it's a history. What a lot of people who get on live feeds, especially their first time, right? What time are we at right now? 10, 11 o'clock? So at 11 o'clock at night, there's 58 people here right now. Out of these 58 people, there's been probably 30 of them have been face to face in this building, and we know each other. Like, we know the name of our children. We actually interact. We have online communities, and like Self-Reliance Festival, for instance. People come here from California to come here with that in common interest, and there will be 2 people who literally live 10 minutes away from each other their entire life in California, never met each other till they came here. There's over a dozen people who have been married and had children. There's dozens more who have met here and have relationships now, man, woman, or just, became friends. So that's the beauty of it. If you look at this YouTube channel, I have over 4,000 videos on this YouTube channel. I do videos about all kinds of stuff. We spent a year just doing the build out on this building, and most of the features in this building where dude's like, hey, you should put a spiral staircase. Hey, you should put a fireman's pole. Hey, this wall should be an aquarium. Hey, you should build this whole wall glass so you can look down at your cars in the garage, stuff like that. And we just implemented most of that. Part of my creative process came from these guys saying, hey, you should do this. And I'm like, hey, that's totally cool. We totally should do that. But I also have videos. I have a video series called Day on the Compound, and that's just me out doing farm stuff. People always say, well, I don't have time. Maybe you don't have time, but me and the guy who says he don't have time, we got 24 hours, and I run this business and a couple of other businesses. I do a podcast several times a week. I sit down in front of a microphone, a produced podcast. We do social media. We do all kinds of things, and I maintain this farm. And this farm typically takes me under 30 minutes every day. And I say that just for people that tell me they don't have time. I don't care what any man does with his time until he tells me what he can't do. And if I'm having a conversation with a dude who tells me what he can't do, he jumped into my world. He just jumped in. And when somebody tells me they can't do it, it's kind of like taking issue with what I do. If you can't do it, remain silent. I'm here from I moved from San Diego to small town Tennessee 18 years ago. Was in California, then went to Oregon, and now to Arizona. Right on. I hope that's on your terms, man. SOE dating apps in the works. Plus text lacks tone. It does. Yeah, there's no inflection in it, for sure. And then as far as guys, another common thing I keep seeing in a lot of the videos lately are, man, you never have anything for sale. Really? We just don't have anything for sale for dumbasses who can't bother to look at the website or send an email. All of this is for sale. But people are lazy. And typically, you guys all know what NPCs are? I don't play video games, but I know what an NPC is, right? That's the non-player character. That's the insignificant character in the video game that you can drive over or run past and shoot without any repercussions, right? You don't lose anything. He's not on your team. He doesn't exist. And usually when you run over him, it just stands back up. That's a non-player character. I believe that most people that you come within arm's reach, right? War within arm's reach. Most people, when you're walking around in public, those are non-player characters. Those are NPCs. They're insignificant in your life, and they're really insignificant in most people's lives, probably. So you want to know how to do something that I do? I won't ever tell you what you should do. I will tell you what I would do, or I will tell you what I have done, and I have over 14 years of viewable history as to what I've done on social media. You have no inner dialogue, no voice. Yeah, there's really people like that. Special operations equipment is what's your favorite nitrogen fixing fruit tree? The real truth is I don't know. We put you have a lot of options. You should get what you wanted. I wanted red buds, but we weren't able to get them. We have a lot of nitrogen fixers up there, but I don't know what we even put in, man. I'm very lucky that Permapasture Farms, Billy and William came down and Michelle came down, and they did all the installs. We had a class here, and we had about 60 people here that actually implemented and put all of those into effect. And I've kind of been in limbo right now. The state has basically eminent domained the top 120 feet of the property at the high point, and that's where that major swale is. So we're just kind of waiting. They came through and cored it. The gas company came through, moved a line and tore up part of that. We're just waiting to see when they drop equipment. We're going to go up and cut all the timber at the top, drag it into process, and then we'll up all those trees and put them somewhere else. But I'm kind of like I'm in a holding pattern right now to see what their damage is going to look like. Those are new souls, not generational memory yet, maybe. But can they harm you? I think they can. So do we care to, I don't have time to try to help people. I have too many people asking for help, and I will help you once or twice, but there will never be a third time. If you come near me and you ask how to do something and I tell you how to do it, the next time I see you, you better have implemented it. Otherwise, you're just back to an NPC. Because I have too many good people around me that I can bring up, right? I don't have time to look down, right? I can help pull you up, but you have to be coming up the ladder also. I believe that everybody, I can be at 100%, and I can get around a 50% dude, right? And I can be close to him and coach him, mentor him for a little bit, motivate him, right? Motivation doesn't do shit. It's fleeting. So you use motivation to build discipline. But if he doesn't build any discipline, I believe everything is like wireless charging, right? So I can get next to a dude that's 50 while I'm at 100 and bring him up to 75. To bring him up to 75, it brings me down to 75. And you are like a battery, right? You're going to have memory. So if I keep bringing motherfuckers up to 75, I'm not going to be able, my new 100 is in fact going to be 75. So I don't have time to be around non-performance people. And you're only going to be the best of the sum of the people you're around. Typically 3 or 5, or whoever's content you consume the most of. It doesn't even have to be in real life anymore, I don't think. But if you're around a bunch of people, when you meet up with them and they just tell you a bunch of negative shit about people you don't know, you need to stop. It's almost more important to limit access to negative people than to even be around positive people. Plum trees are my favorite fruit. Nice. Have you considered running for local office? Yes, I have. The guy standing at the gas station looking, he lives in the parking lot. We saw some people when we went to the liquor store today. There's some apartments, pretty high, pretty expensive apartments, and there's a dude sitting there, and he looked pregnant. And he was standing by a pretty nice Audi, smoking, with his back to any predator that was going to prey on him. Just completely unaware of his surroundings. And he's smoking, and he's fucking around on his phone. When we went into the liquor store and bought a shopping cart full and came back out, the dude was in the same place, looking down, scrolling, smoking real fast, like couldn't even be enjoying it if you enjoy cigarettes or whatever he was smoking. And he's just doing this, man, NPCs. I'm sure that he is working, doing something to be able to afford. I'll bet those apartments are $3,000. I'll bet the payment on the car is probably $1,000 a month. He's obviously earning his money, but just oblivious to life. Those were minutes he died. He died that time while he was there and has zero to show for it. Someone requiring another person's 25% better ad. Yeah, you have to develop something, man. You have to. Looks like licorice is a nitrogen. Good info, man. Good info. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to get off of here. Everybody have a good night. What I was starting to say is we have a text app. If you're here for the gear, I usually show the gear in the very beginning. We have a text app. You're going to get a text every day. Oh my God, he texts me every day. Yep, that's what we fucking do. We text every day. Shit sells out all the time. If you don't want as many texts, you can get on our email app. But on the email app, we only send an email Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And most of the stuff that was on the text app Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday never sticks around long enough. You almost have to work to be able to buy mine. And I know I am not the easiest company to deal with, well aware of it. In some instances, I wouldn't even do business with my company. I get it. But unfortunately for the people saying that, I've been in business for 35 years. And if you search the internet, you'll see people very mad at me saying mean things. But you'll also see every one of them saying, but fuck if he doesn't make the best gear. So after 35 years, I'm a grumpy older man and I just do what I want to do nowadays. So stick around, don't stick around. You'll love some of the conversations. Eventually, I promise you, I'll say something you disagree with. But at the end of the video or the end of the conversation, you're going to know exactly what I thought. But I don't want to know what you... Well, then go do your own videos. I get it. I promise you, I won't be on yours. Everybody have a great night. If you do videos or have YouTube content that you think is valuable, right? Turn me on to them. I'll interact with you guys. I just don't interact with people that don't bring me up. Drives me crazy when I drive by a woman and man out for a walk and she keeps her head down to avoid eye contact. Yeah, well, that's everyone now, man. Think about that. Go into a store where there are young people. They do not know how to. It literally looks like it is killing them to have a. I literally go, eyes up, when I see somebody walking. I'm like, look around, motherfucker. I literally say that, right? They literally jump out of their skin. I go, you're a fucking victim. You look like prey. Ask my wife. I say that to people all the time. When I'm in a store and I ask a question, I'm like, look me in the eyes, motherfucker. I'm talking to you for a minute. You're paid to be here. Your money comes from customers, right? I don't really say it so shitty, but I do say it. I will also fire an employee. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm here. I wish I was somewhere else. I'm like, okay, well, we can fix that. Would you like to not work here anymore? Alexa says, you're a Chinese gangster. Yeah, look up John Willis White Devil. I was the controller of the triads for a while. The tipping option on your PayPal account. Do the tips go to the? No, they don't. Nope, they go to my company. I've run this for 35 years. I pay my employees well, and some of them I pay them more than I think they're worth, and we compensate our employees. We also feed them lunch every day. They have access to a gym, which not a single one of them uses. And we give them, every time you see a t-shirt come out every Monday, we give them a t-shirt. So like Dobby the house elf, we give them socks. I give them 52 shirts a year. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night.